Today on FYI, meet a group of guys who aren't exactly wrestling with their religion. See mothers with their children learning about a different set of signs, and jam out to a unique band from Brooklyn that everyone will want to hear.
Later, FYI will help you de-stress with a popular relaxation method, take you back in time to see what used to roar, and finally, we'll see a great hot spot that will perk up your ears and whet your taste buds. Welcome to another FYI.
From Montauk to Massapequa, Bayside to Bay Ridge, and all points in between. This is For Your Island, a show about the people and places of Long Island.
Think you're tough and nothing can break your spirit? Meet the PWR Wrestling Organization of Deer Park. They play hard in the ring but pray even harder. Can this wrestling team pump you up with strength and faith?
Good. Turn the way.
PWR was founded by myself, Johnny Ova, and Demolition Blast. And we put our heads together and said, you know, with all our experience and all our connections, why not put a wrestling promotion here in the church? And we brought that to the staff at Upper Room Ministries, the pastoral staff, and they kind of agreed with the vision, and they wanted to do this, and they wanted to go out and do it. And they kind of gave us the reins to do it with their blessing and their protocol, and that's how we're doing it.
I've been wrestling for about 10 years on and off. I wrestled in New Jersey, in a camp in New Jersey, about 10 years ago. I stayed there for about 2 years, and then I took a lot of time off because I was banged up pretty bad. And then I got back into wrestling about 3 years ago, into PWR with Bobby Rydell, my friend, my manager, and I've been wrestling ever since.
Well, there's a physical preparation, there's mental preparation. Even though it's, you know, seen as, people call it fake, as you could see when we train, there's nothing fake about it. Everything that we do is very physical, so we try and stay in good shape by working out at home, you know, going to a gym, eating the right food, trying to keep yourself conditioned so you can endure all of this.
I'm always preparing for a wrestling match. I'm always training hard with the weights. I do every body part, bench presses, curls, squats, pull-ups, just about everything you can do to train your body, cardio, bicycle, swim. I always come to wrestling practice, and I always eat good, so I'm kind of always in shape, you know, wrestling-wise.
The mission behind PWR, provide good entertainment that everyone can go to and give a positive message to at the end of the show. And let everyone have a good old time.
I want the audience to feel two things. I want them to feel that they weren't cheated out of wrestling, which is what they really came to see.
I would want the audience, the fans of PWR, to go home feeling like, you know what, there's other wrestling promotions to choose from in Long Island, and I tried this out, and yes, it's in a church, but as you can see with your cameras, this is not any ordinary church. We're talking a $27 million complex here, and first-class production.
What we do is we show them that God accepts us no matter what we do. You know, He loves us. Ultimately, He has love for us. So we go out there and we preach love. So our purpose is to get these souls saved and just to give people an opportunity to change their life for the better.
Those are some faith-filled wrestlers. If you'd like to see more action, the Pro Wrestling Revolution puts on a live event every month. For more information, please visit www.pwrwrestling.com.
Want to know what the new cool kids are doing at an even younger age? Not what you'd think. Signing with their mothers. Sign with Me, Mommy, and Me classes helps parents and babies communicate like never before. Wave hello to this special bond.
You want more? We started this program a little over a year ago in order to give mothers and children a chance to bond while teaching them another language and a way that they can communicate with one another. They can tell their moms when they want more milk. They can ask for more food. They can tell them when they're tired. It can offer the child a way to communicate about books and stories that they heard and just really anything around them that they want to talk about, as well as their needs and their wants. It can also increase the IQ, some studies say, and it will help them learn the spoken English language quicker.
Cookies are for everyone.
I'm the director of Sign With Me, Mommy and Me. We offer 6-week session of sign language classes for young children, ages 9 months to 36 months. Those 6 classes each have a different topic and with books and songs that go with them. Right now the classes usually are run for about 45 minutes and we hold up to about 6 kids. Mommy, Dad. We do have a particular song called Sign With Me, and that we sing a new verse every week that we wrote ourselves so that it would focus on the signs that we were working with that particular week. Making up the songs tends to come natural to me because I sing a lot with my kids and I get down on their level, the needs, the wants, the playing, and focused on those types of signs.
We decided to put this group together because there is no Sign With Me classes on Long Island that offer using the sign as well as doing activities. You know, most kids don't start walking until they are close to a year. So within that year period, you teach them some sign to communicate and they can get their point across.
Every week we start out with the same book, How Big Is Baby Elmo? That has a lot of the first signs in it. A lot of more, a lot of cup, mommy, daddy, eat. So it has a lot of those first signs in it.
But children learn things much faster than adults. Their brains are like little sponges and they pick up the signs, and once they make the connection that if I sign more or if I sign eat or food, I get what I want immediately. They will pick it up and they will produce it.
I like the program. It's only been 2 weeks since we're here, and this is the first time ever I've ever signed a baby up for sign language, and it's really helping. We compile everything into one. The sign, the singing, and then the fruit and everything later on, and the art and crafts. So it's great. I could take it home, put it in the refrigerator door, and run over when I forget how to sign certain things.
Everybody is just ecstatic when they produce that first sign, and most of the time they see that they get what they want and they continue, and it's really great to see that and see the parents so excited that their child is starting to communicate with them before they can speak.
Finally, it seems we know what children are really thinking. Well, almost. Why talk when you can sign and say so much more? To learn more about Sign With Me classes, visit www.mommyandmesign.com.
If you think every band from the New York area is the same, then you may want to listen up. 5 guys from Brooklyn make up the group Dirty Mother Nation, and their beat is attracting people of all ages. Put your ear to the cobblestone and listen as they rock out.
There's a recognition that goes along with being the person on stage, with being the entertainer, and I don't know, call it self-glorifying, but you have to love that when you come off stage and people are congratulating you and telling you, you know, wow, you know, they're dumbfounded or whatever they are, and it's great.
Matt and Dan are brothers, the rhythm section, and I think they had another band before that. And your kids and you play with everybody, with rotating members. And I was in a band in high school. I was in and out of other bands after that. And I happened to see a wanted in Sam Ash saying that they had a full band, drums, bass, and guitar, and they were just looking for a singer. I think Paul had also answered the wanted, and went down to Fast Lanes, to actually this building. It was right upstairs. Went to go try out, and I brought my guitar and I played a couple of songs to them that I wrote, and they played a couple of songs that they had, and then I didn't hear from them for a month. So I was like, well, I guess that didn't go well.
In the past, you play with friends and stuff, and that was good. I expect to have a good time with them. But when me and Dan were auditioning for to find guys that we really thought we could make it with, something that people that really shared the vision. I didn't expect it to click that well. I love the people I'm in the band with. They make me crazy sometimes. I was driving home one day from work with this girl that I was dating. And we see these two Middle Eastern guys get into a fender bender. And apparently they got really upset about it, and one guy goes over to rip the other guy out of the car and ends up slamming the door in the guy's leg, and they're fighting and they're screaming and they're cursing. They're going back at each other, and the other guy turns to me, he's like, "You dirty mother nation!" And I turn to the girl, I'm like, what the hell is a dirty mother nation? There's no angels in the project. There's no choice there but to lose. They're all just waiting around, waiting for the sign that there's something to do. So I go and tell my guitarist Paul, and in a moment of ignorant bliss, it was like, that should be the name. What motivates me to write songs? I watch what's going on in the world. I read a lot, and so I really try and get in touch with the human experience and the human condition.
There's certain things in life that you have to do. You got to go to work. You got to go to school. You got to have responsibility to your family. You have to do things for your friends. I don't have to play in a band, so I do it because I love it.
Biggest piece of advice I can give to musicians is, this is a team sport. Go out and play with other people. Anyone could be a legend in their own basement and rock out and pretend like they know how to play, but until you can play in a group, your playing ability is really untested. We're gonna be huge. I guess maybe it's just me dreaming, but I see, not only just like the MTV thing, I think we're a real crossover band. I find people in their 40s that like us, and I find kids that are 10 years old that like us. I think we're great. I don't mean it to be condescending towards other bands or anything. I love what we do. I think we do it well. I think we work really hard.
Those boys can make the Brooklyn Bridge shake. Want to rock on even more? Hit up their page at www.myspace.com/DirtyMotherNation.
What's more exciting than the weather getting warmer? Well, visiting some places that are already hot, of course. In today's 60 Seconds On, let's double check and make sure not all college kids are going to Cancun for spring break.
For spring break, I'm going home to eat some food, party with some friends, and I'm going to Boulder, Colorado for 5 days to visit my old school and get my party on since I'm 21 now.
For my spring break, I am actually going to stay with some of my Hofstra friends, and we're going to go to someone's house and just have a really good time with everyone and have a big party.
For my spring break, I'm going to go hiking in the Poconos.
I'm going to hang with my family and work, actually.
Honestly, the workload that I've had this semester really deserves a break, so I'm just going to take it easy. I'm going to spend time with family and friends, probably do some homework, but other than that, just relax.
For spring break, I'm going to be resting, catching up on sleep, and eating.
Planning on going to Miami, hanging out on the beach, going to South Beach.
I'm just going to go home and catch up with all my old friends and maybe take a couple day trips, but nothing fancy.
I'm going to go back home to LA, and I'm going to probably go to Disneyland.
Welcome back to FYI. Stress seems to be unavoidable this time of year. We all have chakras out of line, discolored auras, and we are all exhaling more than inhaling. What to do? Breathe with the Long Island Reiki connection.
Anyone can do Reiki. It is a gift from God. It is natural. It is in the air. You can think of it as an antenna that, like a wave of Reiki, like there are light waves and sound waves. You can think of it that there are also Reiki waves. So once you learn it and you are attuned to it or initiated by a Reiki master teacher, that you open to it like an antenna and you receive it.
The Long Island Reiki Connection is an organization that has been established to support its members who are Reiki practitioners in the Long Island community, as well as to educate the medical and non-medical communities about the benefits of Reiki. The Long Island Reiki Connection really provides for its members a wonderful form of fellowship, networking, where we can meet one another and help one another to progress professionally. And also, our members are free to come forward and offer workshops and presentations at our Reiki Shares. At a healing circle, usually people are worked on by Reiki practitioners. There is usually a meditation. Sometimes there are discussions about particular maladies people may be experiencing. And we do not give medical advice by any means, but certain Reiki techniques which may help the person, get a little better and feel emotionally and spiritually and physically their well-being could be enhanced. Of course, that is the basis of the Reiki techniques to help the spiritual, mental, and physical bodies meet their full potential. Reiki is a hands-on technique, and it can help the body relax, and then in turn the body can use its healing energies to combat whatever malady is presenting itself.
Reiki ideals are guiding principles that, when applied to a person's life, they bring balance and harmony and happiness.
Just for today, I will do my work honestly. Just for today, I will be kind to my neighbor and every living thing.
When you meditate, you are still. And when you're still, your body is in a relaxed state. You're very calm, and so the body can heal itself. And when you do Reiki, you're put into a state, just a meditative state. And so sometimes you receive insights if there's a problem or something that's causing you to be unbalanced. You might suddenly find an answer. Crystals are used in Reiki because they are natural conduits, just like a Reiki channel, a Reiki person. So their channel is pure and clear. And so as clear quartz is a natural transmitter of energy, crystals are much like Reiki because we also try to be a channel of energy. Anyone who is nervous or stressed, because it is such an excellent relaxation technique, anyone can benefit from it. Wherever there is illness or a block in the flow of balance, it creates harmony and balance in everything you do.
I feel more relaxed already. If you are interested in learning the technique of Reiki or having the technique performed on you, the Long Island Reiki Connection will soon be visiting Hofstra. Stay updated with student activities for more information.
Bet you thought there wouldn't be a lot of life that's prehistoric, but one museum in Riverhead has proof of the opposite. The Dinosaur Walk Museum showcases replicated life-size dinosaurs from that mysterious pre-existent time period. Let's see what else our FYI crew dug up and take a closer look. Well, not too close.
The most popular exhibit at the Dinosaur Walk Museum is T-Rex. He's a full 2 stories tall. He starts on the lower level and goes all the way up through the 2nd story. Everybody of all ages just love him. He's probably the most popular dinosaur there is, and and you can see why when you see him in life-size. We have over 50 life-size exhibits. They're fully fleshed out dinosaurs, much as they would have appeared back in the day. The dinosaurs at the Dinosaur Walk Museum, once the mold is made, it's an injection molding process. They're made from a high impact resin plastic from several different studios from around the country. We offer several services at the Dinosaur Walk Museum, things such as birthday parties for kids. We do school group field trip visits, everything from preschool up to high school students. They get guided tours where they learn all about the animals that we have here.
Sometimes I give up to 4 tours a day, and they could be anywhere from preschoolers and toddlers to seniors and everything in between, and they could even be all mixed together on one tour. So you have to give the information to the people as they need it and as their interest is. And little kids have a numerous amount of questions, so the tour can last anywhere from a half hour to an hour.
The most exciting exhibit probably for children is the fossil dig. It's hands-on for them, it's interactive, they actually get to burrow through the sandbox and look for actual fossil replicas, and they're amazed as they uncover one, they go on and on and on. We have kids who spend hours on end in that fossil dig.
You think if I dropped it, it would probably just go splat like that, right? Now, this is carpeted. So
We have a range of guest speakers that come to the Dinosaur Walk Museum. We call them our rock stars. People who deal in the world of rocks and things that came from rocks, such as fossils and glaciers and all kinds of crazy things like that. And it's a big draw for the public. They come, they get a little science, a little education, and it's fun at the same time. One of the guest presenters we had here is Dr. Gil Hansen, a world-renowned geologist. He's based at Stony Brook University, not far from here. And I found him through the internet, and we touched base with each other and made some connections. And he was more than thrilled to come and give a presentation, especially to children, and impart some knowledge in science, and he couldn't wait to do it.
Today I discussed what it was like when the glaciers were here, and that is, it was very, very cold. I then discussed how the glaciers, as they approached Long Island, they pushed the sediments that were forming from the glacier and the other sediments up into the moraines, and these formed the two moraines on Long Island. I also gave a demonstration of how the glaciers pushed the moraines up on Long Island. So I took flour, and we used actually 15 pounds of flour in about a 2 foot by 2 foot segment that was to represent Long Island, and then I layered it so that people can then see what the structure of Long Island is before. We cut it, showed them what it looks like before, and then we pushed the glacier, pushed the flour up, and then we could see the folds and the faults in the flour after we did it. And kids seemed to like it a lot. They wanted to keep cutting it.
The adults seem to find the videos very interesting. The two theaters that show the high definition, big screen presentations. We have one that has prehistoric mammals and another one with dinosaurs. Because it's a fun way to get educated about dinosaurs. And a lot of adults are a little scared about dinosaurs, especially about pronouncing the names. We find that many people who come and visit for the first time come back again and again. Many people actually take out family passes so they can come throughout the year and visit us. Some people come as often as once a week.
Wow, I bet there aren't any kids complaining about spending a day at that museum. For more information or to see upcoming special events and speakers, just visit www.dinowalk.com.
Peanut butter and jelly, Abbott and Costello, live music and fresh brewed beer. Sounds good to me, and hopefully tastes good too. The Brick House Brewery in Patchogue has more than 6 original beers on tap and some great live bands on the side. Go ahead, grab a seat and a pint.
The building is much of what this place is about as the beer. The building is the oldest commercial building in Patchogue. It was originally built by a fellow by the name of Havens. His name is on the street that we're alongside here. We've got a real calling for the blues community. Wednesday night is our Blues, Brews, and Barbecues night. We've got a real good following in what we've developed. Well, we've got a whole rainbow of beers. Our light beer, the Street Light, is we came up with the name because it's Main Street that we're on, and we want it to be the everyman's beer, probably our largest seller. We've got a great brown. Our brown beer is named after our first patron. He was here about 3 months before we opened, and he would never leave. He's a great beer lover, and Paul Brown he's probably downstairs right now waiting for another Paul Brown. My favorite is our IPA. The India Pale Ale that we have is a Hurricane Kitty, named after my mother, who was Hurricane before the beer was. We do make great handcrafted ales. We're thrilled to have another local brewery in town, the Blue Point Brewery. Mark Burford is our brewmaster here.
The real distinction with craft brewed beer is it's about freshness and flavor. And it would be similar if you were having canned soup or fresh made soup. That's the analogy I like to use. Fresh beer is the fresh soup, canned beer is the canned soup. And I think everybody can understand the difference. Well, we're going to walk through the brew process here in the brick house. So in the first step, we're crushing barley corns and mixing them with hot water, and we're extracting the sweetness and the flavor and the color of the barley. So this unit right here is the magical mash tun here at the Brick House Brewing Company. So right now we have barley crushed up with hot water in there at 150 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're letting it rest and kind of looks like oatmeal, and it's real sweet and sticky. And that hot water will run behind me through this pipe into the second unit over here known as the brew kettle. Once that's completed, the physical barley corns are behind. We've separated the sweet liquid from the mash, and we have 320 gallons in the brew kettle. We bring that brew kettle to boil, and during the boiling period we add hops. Hops are the bitterness and the spice of the beer, barley the sweetness and the body of the beer, and during the boiling process all those flavors marry up together. And then we pump the sweet wort, is what it's known as, through a heat exchanger, which brings it down to room temperature, and then we put it into any one of the big cylindrical conical silver tanks that you see surrounding the brew house. Once the wort is in the tanks, we add the yeast. Once the yeast is in the wort, it's now beer, because the yeast consumes the sweetness from the barley once again, makes our two favorite things, alcohol and carbon dioxide. We taste the beer every day in every tank in the morning to get our day going. Once we decide that the beer is mature enough, we then filter the beer, put it into the tanks, and we serve it directly from the taps here at the Brick House.
When we first came up with this idea, quite a few people I approached said, this is a great idea, we love it, we're in it. Just, we're going to go up on the expressway someplace. We get a building up there, it's better traffic. We are downtown Patchogue, we are here to stay, and that's what we're all about.
That quenched my thirst. The Brick House looks like a great place for some handcrafted ales and live music. Go to www.brickhousebrewery.com for more info on this hidden hotspot.
Hope you enjoyed learning more about Long Island. That's all we have to show you this week. I'm Shannon Bennett.
And I'm Kiki McEnany. Thanks for watching. FYI leaves you with scenes from Jones Beach. Next show, we'll have even more special spots on Long Island that you have to see for yourself.
Woo!
Aha, Hofstra Television.